In the lush green jungles of long, long ago, lived a tiny dinosaur named Tommy. Now, Tommy wasn't like the other dinosaurs. While they were big and mighty, with booming roars and thunderous footsteps, Tommy was, well, tiny. He was no bigger than a jungle cat, with big, curious eyes and a heart full of courage. The big dinosaurs often overlooked him. Watch your step. The mighty T-Rex would rumble, not even noticing little Tommy scurrying out of the way. You're too small to play our games, the long-necked brachiosauruses would say, their heads high up in the clouds. Tommy would sigh, watching them from behind a giant fern. He wished he could be big and strong like them, but he wanted to help, to be part of the herd, to do big things. But how could a tiny dinosaur ever do anything big? He spent his days exploring the forest floor, making friends with lizards and butterflies, who thought he was just the right size. One sunny afternoon, while chasing a particularly colorful butterfly, Tommy wandered farther than ever before. He found himself at the edge of a wide, rushing river. On the other side, the most delicious-looking berries he had ever seen were growing on a tall bush. They were bright red and plump, glistening in the sun. Tommy's tummy rumbled, but the river was too fast and too wide for a tiny dinosaur to cross. As he was wondering what to do, he heard a small whimper. Peeking through the reeds, he saw a baby triceratops, even smaller than him, stuck on a little island in the middle of the river. The poor thing had been playing, and the water had risen, trapping it. It was crying for its mummy. Tommy's heart leaped into his throat. The baby was scared, and no one else was around. The big dinosaurs were all on the other side of the jungle, too far to hear its cries. But Tommy knew he had to do something. He looked around frantically. He was too small to swim across the strong current. He was too small to shout for help over the roar of the water. But then he saw it. A long, sturdy vine hung from a branch, stretching all the way across the river, just above the little island. An idea sparked in Tommy's mind. It was a scary idea, but he had to be brave. He took a deep breath, ran, and leaped onto the vine. He held on tight with his little claws, his heart pounding like a drum. Hand over hand, claw over claw, he began to make his way across. The wind pushed him, and the spray from the river soaked his scales. But he didn't let go. He kept his eyes on the crying baby dinosaur. "Don't worry," he squeaked as loud as he could. "I'm coming." He finally reached the branch above the island and carefully lowered himself down. The baby triceratops looked up at him with wide, teary eyes. "It's okay," Tommy said softly. "We'll get you back to your mummy." He guided the little one back to the vine. "Hold on tight to my tail," he instructed. The baby wrapped its tiny legs around Tommy's tail, and together they started the slow journey back to the riverbank. It was much harder with the extra weight, but Tommy pulled with all his might. He thought of the big dinosaurs and how they said he was too small. He would show them. He would show everyone. With one final heave, they made it back to the shore, collapsing in a tired but happy heap. Just then, a frantic, giant triceratops mother came crashing through the bushes. My baby, she cried, rushing over and nuzzling her little one. When she saw Tommy, she looked down in surprise. The baby dino pointed a tiny claw at Tommy and chirped happily. The mother Triceratops lowered her huge head and gave Tommy a gentle nudge. "Thank you," she rumbled, her voice full of gratitude. "You saved my baby. You may be small, but you have the biggest heart in the whole jungle." Word of Tommy's bravery spread like wildfire. The other dinosaurs didn't overlook him anymore. They called him Tommy the Brave and Tiny Dino, Big Heart. They realized that it's not your size that matters, but the size of your courage and the kindness in your heart. From that day on, Tommy knew that even a tiny dinosaur could do very big things, and he never wished to be any bigger because he was perfect just the way he was. Thanks for watching our story. If you loved Tommy's adventure, don't forget to like and subscribe for more tales from the jungle. See you next time.